Okay, here I am at Mashalou, where Emmett does his first tee. It's a little 9-hole course in the Bronx. It's the first tee chapter in New York and Westchester combined. So they have one of the ranges with the 2/3 balls or whatever that, they're not real golf balls, but I think it's good enough to practice, and I'd rather have real balls, obviously. But while he was at first tee, I hit a bucket and took the GoPro and am trying to continue to shallow the swing, which is proving to be more difficult than I thought it was. I think it's just a feel thing. I have to get used to it. At the top of the swing, you can see the arrow. My wrist is not cocked that way, which is one improvement from last year. But I'm not getting my hands underneath my shoulders on the downswing, and the club path is not shallowing like I thought it was. I'm trying to think dropping the club to the inside, but even though I do that, or it feels like it, I guess even if it's a micron, even a micron is a lot in the golf swing. So I have to really get to the point where it really feels probably really awkward until it starts to feel normal. So here it is at 240 frames per second. You can see I'm kind of pulling my hands over the top of my shoulders, and I think a lot of that is because I'm not getting my right elbow into my body enough. If we took the front shot of the swing, if I had two GoPros, which I hope to someday, you'd see that the elbow here, well, this is probably the best angle for the elbow, but it's just not getting into the body, not going across, tucking into the ribs, which is a very strange feeling for me. I always feel like I'm going to completely toe the ball or whiff. So I probably could benefit from having that ball maybe a little closer to my feet, so I don't have that feeling of having to reach out, because that instinct is going to be to hit the ball. I don't want to toe it. I don't want to hit it right off the tip of the club. So wrist looks pretty good. I think it looks like it's more bowed there, and I'm cocking it just a fraction here instead of the opposite. Instead of going out the opposite way, I'm just continually falling back into the muscle memory of teenage years and not able to shallow that club, although I am hitting it more solid at times than I ever have. I'm also picking up that right back heel really quick, and you'll see here coming up with Rory, that wasn't a good swing anyway, but you can tell I was disgusted with it. This is not the exact same angle, but his camera is a long focal length from far away, and mine is more of a wide angle up close. But they're not matching now, and the reason for that is because at the top he really pauses for a long time, and it's probably a different frame rate anyway. In fact, I'm sure it is. But I wanted to match these up at impact instead of the other parts of the swing. And a lot of it is deceiving. It looks like I'm bringing it more inside than he is. But the hands are crossing at the shoulders almost in the same spot. But here, he really starts to do that thing that the young kids do, which is to squat before impact. I don't think I can do that. I can't time it up. And then he really pauses, and even though his swing is, looks really fast in real life, he's really getting his hands. The difference between, he looks like a contortionist. Look at that. My elbow is starting to, look at that. His right elbow and his right ribs are almost going to meet. Mine are separating. And he's so far underneath his shoulder on the downswing. It's just unbelievable. I didn't think anybody could hit a golf ball like that. And his right elbow is so tucked into his hip and his ribs. And then he started to stand up to that. just extend. Look at that. And look at his right heel is on the ground at impact. That's unbelievable. Mine is like 4 inches off the ground. Oh, God. So obviously I have a long way to go, and he's not, like ending the swing and collapsing like I do. I just have a little collapse where I just kind of let go at the end because I hit it already. But look at, he's still springing up. His body is continuing to have a lot of action in it. Look at that. I mean, boing. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that. But look at that. Like his head. Doink. Oh, he's so limber, and I'm trying to think of the right word. There's a lot of differences there. I mean, not so much in the backswing and the setup. He's sticking his butt out more. He's bent over a tiny bit more, and right here is where the real big differences are happening. I don't think I could ever swing like that, but and he is a young man. I should probably pick an older guy for the next one. I gotta be Rory's dad. But here is a little swing that I did with like a little half lob wedge swing, where I was trying to, that's my A wedge. Trying to do a little Henrik Stenson where I'm starting to look in front of the ball before I hit it rather than keeping my head stuck down there. And that sort of gives me a little feeling of being able to open up the hips quicker. And my finish here is so much different than the finish with the full swing. I mean, I'm really going up, and it looks nice and relaxed and more limber and not quite so brittle. And some of that is because I really am dropping the club a little bit more to the inside. And since the half swing, I'm not trying to kill it. And the feeling of just staying tucked and together, the elbow with my body is a little bit better there. So that gives me hope that maybe I can translate that into a full swing. And these always feel different too. I mean, they feel real solid and easy, simple. And this swing on the left, it actually wasn't even that bad of a shot. I picked one where I hit it okay. But that's more like last year's swing. The only positive I can see is that the left wrist is not as bowed as it was last year. I just have to try to get that elbow in, I think, because how can you drop your hands under your shoulders if your right elbow isn't tucked down in here? I think it's impossible. So I'm trying to, it's like you have two elements working against each other. How can you expect to be pulling it to the inside if your right elbow is not tucked like Rory's is? Man, he's limber and strong. I mean, you can tell his muscles are really working there, but it still looks effortless. Well, we'll see. I'm playing golf tomorrow in the morning for the first time this year. 18 holes at Harbor Links with my pal, John Kim. You'll see him on camera. I'll make a posting of our round. He's a fun, nice guy. Likes to be in front of the camera. Is also working on his golf swing real hard. So stay tuned for that.